Hello, class. Today we are going to be filling out our notes for classifying triangles. So what I need for you to do is get out your unit packet and turn to the page that says classifying triangles. That looks like this. Pause the video and then hit play when you are ready. Okay, so classifying triangles. It says here, you can classify triangles by their sides and angles. I'm going to box this word classify. Classify means to sort. So we can sort triangles two different ways. By their sides, that's the first way, and by their angles, that's the second way. So let's start with classifying triangles by their sides. Okay? So the first one is called an equilateral triangle. And an equilateral triangle is a triangle with all three sides that are equal. And I'm going to put another word up here for equal. I'm going to use the word congruent. Because you'll hear both those words. Congruent means equal. Okay, so all the three sides are equal and all the angles are equivalent as well. So if you look here at this triangle, this is an equilateral triangle and it has these markings. It has this marking right here, and right here. These markings right here show that the sides are congruent. And these little angle markings right here show an angle, but we're going to put a little line like this to show that they are congruent. So the way to remember equilateral triangles is three sides, three angles equal. Three sides, three angles equal. Our next triangle by size or sides is this word right here. Underneath here I'm going to write it phonetically. It is called an isosceles triangle, isosceles triangle. And it is a triangle with two sides and two angles that are equivalent. Okay? So here is side 1 that's equal, here is side 2 that is equal. This side right here is not, so I'm going to put 2 marks. And then this angle and this angle are equal to each other, but this angle is not, and I put 2 markings next to it. So a way to remember isosceles is, I'm going to draw some eyeballs. 2 eyes, 2 sides equal. Isosceles. And the last triangle by length or by their sides is this one right here. It's called scalene. So I'm going to write phonetically how to say it. Scalene. Scalene triangle. And a scalene triangle is a triangle where all three sides have different lengths. Okay? Has nothing to do with the angles, just all three sides have different lengths. So this side, I'm going to put 1 marking. This side, I'm going to put 2 markings. And this side, I'm going to put 3 markings to show that they are not equal. And we're just going to say, to remember it, it's 0 sides equal. 0 sides equal. So that is how we can classify triangles by their sides. Equilateral, 3 sides, 3 angles, equal. Isosceles, 2 sides, 2 angles, equal. And scalene, 0 sides, equal. Now we can also look at the angles of our triangle, and we can classify them by the type of angle they have inside there. So the first one is acute. A triangle that is acute is a triangle with 3 angles that measure less than 90 degrees. So all 3 angles of my triangle are going to be acute. They're going to measure between 1 and 89 degrees. A right triangle is a triangle with 1 right angle and 2 acute angles. So right here, this little square corner, that's my 90-degree angle. And I know this because it makes a perfect corner, perfect square. So this is my 90-degree angle, and then these 2 angles right here are acute, meaning they are between 1 and 89 degrees. And then finally, an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle is a triangle with 2 obtuse angles and 1 obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. So when I look at my triangle right here, this right here is my obtuse angle. And these 2 angles right here are acute. So that is how we can classify triangles. So let me talk to you a little bit about how we name our triangles. Okay, so I have here a triangle, and as you can see, it is got the measurements on the sides, and it has the measurement of the angles. So what I notice right now is that this side and this side are 6 inches. So I'm going to put a mark right here. That tells me that they're equal. And this side is 7.5 inches. So I'm going to put the 2 lines right there. And then I look right here, and I have 2 angles that are 50 degrees. So I'm going to put a mark here like this to show that they're equal. And then I have 80 degrees right here. Now all triangles have 3 names. Like you have a first, middle, and last name. Triangles have that too. They have a first, they have a middle, and their last name is triangle. And so because we can classify triangles by their sides and their angles, our first and middle name are either their angle or their sides. And it doesn't matter which order you put them in. I usually start with the sides and then the angles, but you can flip-flop them. So this triangle, if I were to name this triangle, I would see that there were 2 sides and 2 angles equal. 2 sides, 2 angles equal. So this is an isosceles. Isosceles triangle. And then I'm going to look at their angle measurements, and I see that there's 50, 50, and 80. And all 3 of these are less than 90, so that means that it is an acute triangle. So this is an isosceles acute triangle. Or it could be an acute isosceles triangle. Either of those are acceptable answers. Later on in your math block, you are going to be given triangles that look like this, where they give you the measurements and all of that, and you're going to have to name the triangle. So remember, classifying triangles can be classified by their sides, and they can be classified by their angles. An equilateral triangle, 3 sides, 3 angles equal. Isosceles, 2 sides, 2 angles equal. And scalene, 0 sides equal. And an acute triangle has 3 angles that are less than 90 degrees, 1 and 89 degrees. A right triangle has 1 right angle and then 2 acute angles. And an obtuse triangle has an obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. Thanks for watching.